Good morning, everybody. Like I always say, good morning, my people. Well, now the fire whistles are going off somewhere. Make sure you guys smash that like button. So the wheels have been turning. Morning, Meg. I've already started with Roger Spur. We're doing pretty much daily discussions, Q&As, basically like a new school, right? Now, right now you can get in for free. Eventually, it will be exclusively on my Patreon. Once we get a bigger group together, and we literally start classes, structured classes. Well, I'm going to be bringing in different people besides me and Roger as well. And if we get enough people together and we're able to fund it a little bit, I can get all equipment for us. We can actually do music classes, self-defense classes, and all these types of videos and things like this, right? But it's going to take a little bit of support. But for right now, you can join the discussions for free. The link I posted yesterday on my YouTube. Roger posted it on his YouTube the last 2 days. If you're on my Patreon, the link's on there. And I think even on YouTube, Facebook, I posted the link as well. But I haven't been on Facebook. I still have the Facebook Messenger, but I deleted the regular Facebook from my phone and stuff like that. But I do still have Facebook Messenger. So I haven't been really seeing posts on Facebook, but I did post it, the link on there yesterday. We'll be using that same link today. That'll be at 1 o'clock. Yesterday, Roger and I did it was like a 2-hour discussion, a Q&A. We had about 8 or 9 people in there. Oh, thank you so much. I love a girl. That helps out so much. Thank you so much, 777. And today, I actually will be live with Roger at 1 p.m. Eastern. The same link as we were yesterday. And before that, I will be doing like a half-hour session here on YouTube by myself where I'll be doing a giveaway with my copper and crystals. So we're gonna have 3 giveaways basically. So that's gonna be pretty awesome. And I'm gonna be discussing something that is a very interesting topic. Before the show with Roger, something that happened to me almost 20 years ago now, in 2002, where, oh, shout out to Meg. Shout out to Meg. If you want, I'll send you some fluorite. I got some samples of fluorite if you want them, and labradorite. So hit me up with your address. Same thing with I Love a Girl. If you guys want some samples, just hit me up. So let me turn around here and go up the other way. So yeah, what's interesting is that yesterday, good morning, Cindy. Yesterday in the discussion with Roger, and we're doing this about physics, chemistry, biology. We're looking at things from a whole new perspective, because academia is sort of become a dogmatic religion, and they have a curriculum that they stick to, and they don't really make some changes to it. No matter if the history is wrong or the theory is wrong, they pretty much make people stick to it. And so let's get started with today's topic, because I don't really want to get into how academia does this and academia does that. Roger's really bitter. I'm not bitter with it at all, because I know how the forces of the truth is covered up by the dark forces that are around us. And I already know, and that's what I'm going to be discussing today before the show with Roger, is how I literally saw the devil clothed in a nice suit, literally offered me everything I wanted to come work for him, I could play music for his record label and his I could work at his company. All of this. Said he had access to a club. He would promote me, and I would have anything I've ever wanted if I just came with him and said yes. While I'm playing music as a street musician on the side of the road in Long Beach, California. This literally happened to me. And the whole story I haven't told in a while, and I wanted to get into it because I think it's really important for people to hear these things. You know, and I think sometimes when people decide to take the offer, they get amnesia of the experience even. And I think this has happened many, many times in history. And yesterday in the discussion with Roger is, you see the title of today's video, that's what I wanted to get into. Yesterday in the discussion with Roger, we started about creation theories of the Vedas and all different stuff we were talking about yesterday. But I happened to mention how there's quite possibly a story of human cloning within like rabbinical and Jewish literature, Hebrew literature. All right, for those that don't know, there's a whole bunch of different sacred writings and famous Jewish literature, and one of them is called the Aggada. And it's interesting because a lot of these sacred writings seem to elaborate on stories from the Bible, right? Even with the Book of Enoch, you know. But in the Aggada, they seem to elaborate on the story that's sort of put between two parts of the Bible, in Kings and in Chronicles. They talk about Queen Sheba and her visit to Solomon, King Solomon in Jerusalem. And now I think pretty much the whole world paid homage to Solomon at that time, supposedly, except for like where Ethiopia. And I think that's where the Jews believe that, even though it doesn't specifically say in the Bible, it hints to like this Ophir, Ophir, this place, because it's called the sort of like voyage of Ophir. So they assumed that Sheba was close to this Ophir place. But I think in Hebrew literature, at least, they believed that she was the queen of Ethiopia, right? And she was a pretty significant person, just like Solomon. And supposedly, in the Bible, like, they don't talk about how, I guess you could say, like how she would even take the voyage from where she lived to Jerusalem. Like, they don't mention how she got there at all. But like in the Aggada, they do. You know, they talk about this sacred bird that has a specific like a real distinct crown. I think it's called the hoopoe bird. Right? It's spelled like Hoopoe or hoopoe bird. And supposedly that King Solomon sent Queen Sheba a message with this hoopoe bird, or and she got the message, and as soon as she gets the message, she gets all her ships together, all her ships of the sea together, right? And this is some amazing stuff. So, because check this out. So when she gets all her ships together, she gets all the finest wood, spices, precious stones and pearls, all this stuff she gets together to bring and pay homage to King Solomon, because basically he sent her this message by this bird. You know, this bird brought her a message, and it wasn't just a message for her to come visit him, like it was for her to come pay homage to him, right? So as soon as she gets the letter, it said that she like gets all her ships together, all her finest wood, all this stuff together, all these precious stones. And also, now check this out. And I just posted about this on my Patreon, for those on patreon.com/themysticalspiral. The article, I wrote an article on this just today. Now, check this out. Besides bringing the precious stones and all this stuff, she also brought 6,000 boys and girls, all born in the same year, in the same month, on the same day, in the very same second, all of equal stature and size, and all clothed in the same purple vestments. 6,000 of them, right? As a gift to Solomon, to be, I guess, servants or soldiers or, or whatever, right? But how is this possible? Do you think it could be even plausible in any way that somehow Queen Sheba could round up 6,000 boys and girls that were born exactly the same second, in the same year, in the same month, in the same day? And yes, they just happen to be the same size as well, the same stature, and exactly the same size. I mean, no, I think this is the only thing it could be. If these were really alive, sentient humans, because they talk about these 6,000 boys and girls, all the same size and the same age, all of this, right? That they brought Solomon the return letter to talk about Queen Sheba's voyage. So that she's coming and how long it was going to take and all of this, right? So if this is real live people that they're talking about, if this is not just some story and myth, then it can only be clones. How would it be ever? It couldn't be possible to find 6,000 of what they call of youths and maidens, young boys and girls, of the same exact size and stature, all born on the same exact hour and second, all with the same birth dates, all clothed in these purple vestments. Now, to me, that's amazing. Yeah, but even if it was, see Rob in the chat room, even if it was possible to find 6,000 people born, say not the very same second, say 6,000 people born in the same hour of the same year, of the same month, of the same day, right? Say you could find 6,000 people, but for them to be the exact same size and stature, that's impossible. They would have to be genetically made that way and replicated. Because even if you did find 6,000 people that were born on the same hour, they would be of all different races, of all different sizes and shapes and everything. I mean, you might get a few, maybe at most 1,000 of them who have very close personalities and similar lives. But, I mean, that would be it. And 1,000 would be a high number out of that, real high number. But you would get some of them with very similar, probably, personalities and the way their life goes. And because of the whole astrology thing and the way the stars move with everything. And, some of them would have significant events at similar ages and things like that. But I don't even think it would be possible to find 6,000 people born on the very same second, unless you literally had everybody tracked. Because, I mean, you would assume back in those days that they weren't happening at like hospitals where they're recording the time down to the very second. So I don't know. Obviously, we don't even know, because if they had high technology to do any of this, even with the pyramids and all this stuff, then definitely they had high technology. Their record keepings most likely were in crystals. And the stone walls that we see inscripted and the stone stuff that we inscripted are most likely codes to unlock something else within the place. That's just the first face of it. There's much deeper recordings within those structures, and some of them are even recorded at certain harmonic frequencies, holographically. Even these structures are built to resonate at certain harmonic frequencies. And Queen of Sheba, people even debate whether she was a real being. All right? And this was before all the other myths. This was before she met Solomon. She sent all these, this was before she quizzed the famous quizzes of Solomon, where she asked him certain famous quizzes, like, things like that. Like she asked him like these trick questions to see what kind of wisdom he had. This was before Solomon discovered her hairy legs that gave us certain clues to whether she was either, one clue would be that most likely she was a virgin. She wasn't well kept. Right? Another clue that she was a hairy beast, Nephilim creator, a fallen angel, rebellious fallen intelligence, part screech owl, part mother of giants, part fallen angel, part cherubim. Right? The child killer, right? They call her all these labels. Lilith. Before they thought she was embodied by Lilith because of her hairy legs. All of this. All of these myths that go along with Queen Sheba. But to me, that the one with the 6,000. I gotta change the one with the 6,000 maidens and youths that are all replicas of each other, all born on the same second. To me, that's really amazing. 1776 in the super chat. Whoa, serious codes going on. But yeah, so I'm about to run out of battery on this phone, but I will be back in a little while. 1 o'clock we'll be live with Roger Spur, and I want to know from you guys, do you think Queen Sheba, they're talking about clones? What could it be? It could be a made-up story. But why would they make this up? Why would this be recorded in sacred writings? Queen of Sheba has always had mystery around. Of course, there's no physical evidence of her being alive. But then again, there's not much physical evidence of many people that were alive thousands of years ago, especially ones that were. There's a lot of missing bodies and things like that of some of the elite, especially the ones that had access to transform into something beyond physical. Mind, body, and soul. And if they had the knowledge of genetic cloning, then they had the knowledge of adding genes to transform into something higher. And this might even be where you don't have their flesh anymore on this plane. Their energy, their matter, everything transformed. From Queen of Sheba to Akhenaten. Right? Nebuchadnezzar. All these ones are very mysterious. Nimrod. Even King Solomon himself. So guys, don't miss out. Today at 1 p.m. I'll be live with Roger Spur. And just prior to that, I'll be back here on YouTube. Support me at patreon.com/themysticalspiral. And today at the mysticalspiralstore.com, I'm doing giveaways. So with every purchase, you're going to get free crystals. And today on my giveaway, I'm giving out free bigger items. So copper items, wands, things like this. So don't miss out. It's the end of the month, and I'm trying to do these sale giveaways a lot more frequently. But I'm going to be doing it from the computer at home when I get back. And yep, I'll be live at 1 p.m. again with Roger. And if you missed the live ones, the recordings will be available on my Patreon. So these live chats with Roger, they're being recorded, but they're only going to be available, the replays, on my Patreon. And also for my members only here on YouTube. They'll be available for those people as well. So you could subscribe right here on YouTube or on Patreon. And of course, I'm at the mysticalspiralstore.com. I'll see you guys later, and thank you everybody for donating. I'll see you later, and Spiral out.